And on Gimel, basically, like I said, these are the two hardest chapters of the book. Not only that, over here, the basic thing is that we're not really talking Masholim anymore. We're talking the actual thing. And the real thing over here in these two chapters, if you understand them properly, you should be able to bring the whole Yichud into physicality. To the point that if you really understand these two chapters properly, you should be able to do magic. I don't mean magic, but like Kabbalah Mises. You should literally be able to walk through walls if you understand these two chapters, because it explains to you exactly how the whole thing works.
Right.
You know, that's what these two chapters are all about. Also, if you look in chapter Nun Dalet, you know, like people, you know, like, you know, I was learning with a Bacher this Shabbos, this Bacher that started coming.
Right.
And I told him that Shaar HaYichud is made up of 4 parts. The first part is Kuntesait Pilus, like it says. It says the first thing it says is the continuation of Kuntesait Pilus. The second part is chapters. The chapters 1 through about 8 or so, or 7, or actually through 6, and then from 7 it starts basically explaining 7 through 9 is the general Hishtalshelut, then 10 through the end is the particular Hishtalshelut.
Right.
So that's the 3 parts. And the 4th part, I told them, like it says, Ner Mitzvah Torah or V'derech Hayim. Now you notice that over here, the end of this book is the beginning of Derech Hayim, the Yetzer Hara.
Right.
That's what the chapter Nun Dalet is talking about Satan.
Right.
And the Klippas all the way to the Klippas Atmeas, Nachash Atmeini. That's what it finishes off with. The last words of the book is Ve'esruach hatuma avir legamre chulu v'kedu v'dalam avin.
Right.
Which that's the inyan of the Rechayim.
Right.
So basically, these 2 chapters require a very big iyun. And these 2 chapters is the end of the Yehuda Tato, and really it's not even Yehuda Tato. Yehuda Tato we really finish with. Yehuda Tato is down to Malchus Vasiyah. That's Yehuda Tato.
Right.
Yehuda Ilo is how the spheres of Atzilus are included in Malchus of Ein Sof. Yehuda Tato is how the spheres of Biyah are included in Malchus of Atzilus.
Right.
And this is the next thing. This is the inyan of the, basically now is the Olam HaKlippas.
Right.
This, basically here, this is the inyan of what is called Kabbalah Mises. Tells you literally how the actual physical world comes into being.
Right.
Now, in these 2 chapters included the whole entire science and you know, all the magical systems, including the things what Bilam and Balak knew and stuff like that, you know.
Right, the occult sciences.
The occult sciences, all the sciences.
Right.
Basically, what do you call it? So the Philosopher's Stones, alchemy.
Right.
As a matter of fact, he mentioned that. Just the last chapter he mentioned was the last chapter of the one before that. The one who said to the...
Right.
That the one who said to the oil should say to the vinegar. And we said that this is actually a bigger miracle than to turn the oil into vinegar.
Right.
Which that's the thing of alchemy, you know, the Philosopher's Stone to turn lead into gold.
right.
Which, by the way, the real Indian of that, to turn lead into gold, is Meriru Lemitka.
Right.
That's the real thing. You know what he said to him? Nobody should come out of here except somebody who can turn darkness into light and bitterness into sweetness.
Right.
And that's the pneumius Indian of turning lead into gold is really the Indian which is called the Tapcha.
Right.
You know. So, but there's also an Indian that literally, he said, he told us this, that literally you can change the tirufim.
Right.
If you know how, you can literally change the tirufim. And a tzaddik can do anything. A tzaddik can literally change the world around.
Right.
So, now we're going to start. Nun gimel v'acher kol anal yuvan lamaskil klaus kol hitbonenut. So what he said is that really he finished it off before. He said all the way till the physical thing comes of malchus of Atiyah. That's what he said. That was the last thing before.
Right.
Now he's going to explain a little bit more. Kol hitbonenut mirotzen aposhra asmi. Asmus Orin Sos Mamish, Muhammad Pinus Prophet Hesed Asmi, Sha'ala B'tzana Apashas Kulu Kanal Bois Yud. Ad Pchinas Harotzen Hayes Achron, Shahu Pchinas Harotzen Lehishavos Oila Ma'asiyah B'klal B'prat. Shnikar Keser V'atik Yomen Da'asiyah. V'hu Masha Amar Kolo Shechofet Havaya Asa, the Vadak Moshe Allah B'tzon Liot Chafetz V'rotzen Lahatzi, L'kach Allah Chafetz V'rotzen Zel Libra V'chafetz V'rotzen Litor V'chafetz V'rotzen Lassus. Hakol Hayakolo B'etzem Retzoyna HaPoshet B'asmut. Al Derech Mashal, Adam Sh'Allah B'tzona Asmi Liris L'rotzen Le'eze Inyan Dover Ma, for a certain thing, She'af Al Pi She'B'prat, Hare miyad uba b'chiluki ritzonis madrega l'madrega abchinas harotzen hayoser achron shuhu b'chinas rotzen l'soif maise mamish, for the actual thing itself. Mikol mokom hakol alla bebat achad be'etzem ritzoinach chulu m'bli chiluk madregas klal. In other words, in etzem harotzen there's mamish no chiluk of rotzoinis in the ksorim between the rotzen lahatzil and the rotzen for the actual physical thing. That really in the ksorim there's no chiluk madregas at all. Afal pi Seder Hishtalshelut mipchinas malchus shebe'elyon nasa kesel tachton chulu, but really it's not different madregas at all. The keser of Asiyah is just as high as the keser of Atzilus.
Right.
And that's basically, the fact really goes all the way to the pratius of literally our rotzen.
Right.
That the keser of a person is literally the keser of the Eibishter. There's no chilukim madregas. It's no chilukim madregas. Not only that, not only that he says there's no chilukim madregas, he says that it's mamish, the keser of the rotzen aposhut.
Right.
That the keser of, in other words, the keser of Atzilus, all the way to the keser of Asiyah, all the way to the keser of the mamish for the thing itself, is literally the rotzen aposhut. And this is the whole thing of what the mitzvahs are all about.
Right.
There's Atzir Etainik Etzoncha and all that business, you know.
Right. Right.
That when you are doing a mitzvah, you are doing the rotzen of the Eibishter, literally. Literally.
Right.
That you're literally doing the rotzen of the Eibishter, and when you are doing an Aveira, you are literally going against the rotzen of the Eibishter. You are literally, that's what it says in Tanya, you are literally like taking the king's head and putting it in the toilet.
Right.
That's what it says in Tanya.
Right.
So, and this is all the way to the rotzen achi achron, means the rotzen aprati shebeprate pratius, and a person who's called the oilam maleh. So, כך לגבי עצמוס רצוינו הפושט שבבחינת עצמוס אור אין סוף, אין חילוק מדרגס בין חפץ לרוצן לעשות, בין חפץ לרוצן לעשות, חולוק. וזהו אני ראשון ברוצן של מלכות אין סוף, מוקר הרוצן לעשות, ואני אחרון ברוצן אחרון במלכות דעשייה, להסהבוס אוילם השופל היצר אחרון, שהן האיפנים והמזולות. שהם השור שיסהבוס רוחניוס הדלת יסוידס דרמה ורוחניוס תצח הגשמיהם כמו שמבואר בסעיף היצחיים. שזהו בכלל הכל במה שנאמר כל שחופץ הוויה בעצמוס עשה. And the real main thing that he wanted, even more than to make the lower world, and this is why a Jew is typhus in the Etzem HaRotzon HaPashut, in the Atmos of the Eberster, like what he says in Tanya, that the mitzvah, like the last few days he was talking in Tanya, that the mitzvah is typhus in the Etzem even more than the Chassidus is.
Right.
Why? Because it's the Etzem HaRotzon HaPashut. But remember that he also says, but however, the learning of Chassidus is itself a mitzvah, and a mitzvah Rama Moed, Rama V'Nizgava. It's the biggest of all the mitzvahs. Not only that, it's the mitzvah of Talmud Torah.
Right.
Which is connected kulam. And from the Torah itself, it's the pnimis of Torah.
Right.
So, the thing is that the real thing that he wanted was not even to make the world.
Right.
And was not even to make the Jew. The thing that he really wanted, and the reason why he made the Jew, is so that the Jew should do his Ratzon of his own free will. The Jew should do the Eibish's Ratzon of his own free will, and therefore, and that's what is coming up, is the creation of the Satan.
Right.
And therefore, he made it possible for him to do, and this is the biggest miracle of them all. Really, Atilus is not such a big miracle. As a matter of fact, it's sort of like, for me to scratch my head, not even.
Right.
It's a big miracle. You say, well, he's such a big genius, he can scratch his head. So the thing is really like Atilus, the Arita. Even the highest levels of Atilus is, wow, we can make malachim. And say, what are you talking about? It's an insult. So basically, the whole Yerida, which is no big deal. I mean, by the Ebisher, not only it's not a big deal, it's not an insult. To say that he can make Atilus is also what? What's the big deal if he can make Atilus? The Yerida. The whole thing was to make the person. And really, the whole thing was not even to make the person. It wasn't that he made the person to have people.
Right.
And that's why that the Goyim are not intrinsic.
Right.
They're only extrinsic. And the whole world is extrinsic, and it really doesn't need to exist at all. It's not like most people think, oh, it's such a beautiful world, and God wanted this world so much.
Right.
He didn't know. The world, he does not care for a world, and he doesn't need a world, and the world is a Yerida. Not only world, though, the world is a hassle, and even for us, it's a lousy place. Who needs it? As far as just the world, what? I mean, what? Oh, but look at the beautiful trees. He said, what's the beautiful trees?
Right.
The beautiful trees is nothing. You want beauty, even if you go to Olam Asiyah, by the Afanim,
right.
You'll never look at a tree again. After that, the trees will look ugly to you.
Right.
If you see the beauty of the Echolos, of only the Echolos of Asiyah.
Right.
If you see the beauty of the Echolos of Asiyah, after that, this will all look ugly to you. So that's what people think is, oh, we love, as a matter of fact, that they think that the Eibusher, wow, I mean, After all, God loves the world and He loves people, and that's why, He made people and stuff like that. And really, He wouldn't have to make people.
Right.
Not only that, He would have destroyed the world, like it says, by Matan Torah. He told them, if you accept the Torah, fine. If not, I'm going to destroy the world. What do I need it for?
Right.
There's no reason that the world, that the Eibusher wants the world. There's no intrinsic value in the world per se.
Right.
Absolutely none. And it's not like people think. It's a wonderful world, and there's so much love in it. Like motherhood and stuff like that. And what do you need motherhood for? Upstairs, I would go upstairs, even in Avasiya is a bigger Indian, you wouldn't even think of these things anymore.
Right.
Or you say, wow, but, just think, that food over there, that Chinese food and that mishwi shish kebab,
Right.
Just for that, there was worth to have a world, It's not true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not true. As a matter of fact, really, that's part of the evil.
Right.
The taste of the food is part of the evil. And not only that, like the beautiful scenery. People say, oh, but think about it, sunset. When you go out camping and you're sitting there in the trees and you're breathing the beautiful oxygen, and then there's a sunset,
right,
and the birds are singing. What does it say? That somebody is walking in the road, and he's saying his Mishnah, and he says, what a beautiful tree. It's Geilu Kayamisa. Yeah, the Eibusher says, what do I need you for? I might as well kill you. I don't need you here. What do I need you here for? To look at the trees? That's what I made you for? To smell the flowers? Oh, but think all the flowers. So, the basic thing is that this whole world is olam tachton she'en tachton lemata himenu. And this what we're saying, never mind by this world, by Atzilus you can say this. Right. Not only by Atzilus you can say this, by Atik you can say this.
Right.
Who needs Atik? Get rid of it. Not only that, by Ak you can say this.
Right.
Not only that, the real truth is by Yochid you can say this.
Right.
So what do we need Yochid for? Who needs Yochid?
Right.
It's just, it's a bother. What do you need Yochid for?
Exactly.
You don't need Yochid at all. The whole Atzma is all inside that we started talking about Yochid Echad V'Kadmon. Wow, Yochid Echad V'Kadmon. What do you mean you don't need Yochid? What do you need Yochid for?
Right.
The whole reason for the Yochid was to end up with us.
Right.
And not only you don't need the world, your mamish, you don't need Yochid. What does the Eibusher need Yochid for? He says, what do you mean? Yochid is the light that reveals the Eibusher within himself. He says, yeah, but he doesn't need no light. It says, by him kahashef ha'ka'ira.
Right.
He doesn't need Yochid. He does not need that light. He knew everything that was going on there without the Yochid.
Right.
So even the Yochid is really a Yerida. Like what we talked about before, that there's higher than Yochid and there's even higher than that. And even that's
right.
Yerida.
Right.
So what did he want? He wanted that, Nachas Ruach, that I said and they did my Ratzon. Nachas Ruach Lefon, Shamarti V'Nasar Etzaini. That's what it was all about. The whole thing was about, and that's what it says, that the Eibusher saw the whole world and was toiv ma'oid. It says toiv is the Yetzer Toiv, ma'oid is the Yetzer Hara. It was very good. What is very good? Very good means that he went against the Yetzer Hara, that the person went and he did the Eibusher's Ratzon, meaning it's mamish the Eibusher's Ratzon. It says, what does it say somewhere? Also it says, Asa Retzoini, that means that he made my Ratzon. No, not he did what I wanted, but he made my Ratzon.
Right.
He did the actual Ratzon down here. In other words, what the Eibusher basically gave us was the Ratzon Atzmi, because in the Ksorim there's no Hishtalshelut, and we get, when we put on tefillin or something like that, we're literally acting for the Eibusher, and that's also what it said in the Tanya from the last few days. Basically says that the body becomes part of it.
Right.
Since it is dafka the body that does the Ratzon. The soul cannot do it. And it's dafka the Nefesh Abhamis becomes, which is from Klipas Noiga, the Nefesh Abhamis becomes actually part of the thing, and then it's the open thing of Einon Milvadoi. And that's the whole thing what the world was created for. And it's mamish, there's no Hishtalshelut in the Ksorim. Where are we? Our Mavruchnis, the Tzar Gasm, the Tzavait Fayim. Okay. Shezeo Nichlal Hakol Mash Neymar Kol Asher Chavis Asa Ba'atzmus Kol Asher Chavis HaShem Ba'atzmus Asa Shekoilo Kol Hishtalshelut Zekav Ad Soif Olam Asiyah Dahainu Shekoilo Lam Yachad Shenikra Hakol Bebchinas Asiyah Levad. The whole thing, including the Atzilus, is nothing but Asiyah by him. Kishorish Atzilus V'shorish Asiyah Shovin mamish legabi atzmus echulu. It's the same thing by him. Like I said, you and the cat are the same thing. But Eibusher, Atzilus and Asiyah is mamish the same thing. Zehu asa b'shamayim. It says kol asher chavis Hashem asa b'shamayim ba'aretz. B'shamayim seiv v'klali d'hiri la v'dhiru tatah. Ba'aretz abchinat memalek al almi. Hulu. Hakol b'ashlo achas. By him, it says, you see what he says here, just what we said before. The Tehiru Ilah, by him is also Asa.
Right.
We're talking before the symptom.
Right.
The Tehiru Ilah, remember, he said, and that's what we called Yochid, and that's what we called Tehiru Ilah. By him, including Yochid. It's all by him, all the same thing. Yadua, the ek of the action Messiah b'seif Asiyah v'reisha machshava klalit b'tzilas hakav small b'adam arishin she'amu shekodem achet aya ragla v'asiyah v'reisha v'briya nikra adam the briya yesh me'ein chulu v'hainu v'kol koima lepanecha tishtacha v'chulu means the koima da'ak motion v'ord mokamachet. Zeu ikar mekuvan b'kol ha'itbonenut b'kol prat u'prat b'kol ha'hishtalshelut zekav melifnei hatzimtzum harishon ad seif ha'asiyah rak liot nichlal hakol b'achzus ha'pshuta means is mamish the Eibusher all the way down to here. In other words, the Eibusher literally is making us right now. Forget the Hishtalshelut. Shahu b'bchinas atzmus orein seif ad sheyikva b'nafsho gam b'seder hashkocha elokis protis ad aprat ha'yesher achron shu gam b'olam galgalon ha'mazolet meaning the sky, our sky. Shehem rak metes kelam achitzoynis the malchus asiyah. This is according to the Asmus Ein Seif Mamish. This is according to Ratzon HaPashut. It's not that it's going around like inertia. There's not just that like people think that they're going around, so where else could they go? Like what they said, there's no Ratzon. The reason you see that Mars was over there yesterday and now it's over here, where else would it go? It's in a muscle. And it's just going on an inertia. Same like you throw a ball and it keeps going. But it says no. It's there right now because that's exactly what the Eibusher wanted it to be. So Hainu, what does it mean, Kirtzoino? Hainu Kirtzoino HaPoshet Shabbat Smutzo Mamish. Means what he himself wanted. Mitama now. Upirush b'mishmer Seihem. What does it mean b'mishmer Seihem? Hainu gam b'pchinas cholos deklipas noiga. Da'asiyah. Not only in the cholos of Asiyah, but now we're talking about the cholos deklipas noiga. Shamazolos, what is the cholos of klipas noiga? The cholos of klipas noiga is the halal of the space of the physical world. Shamazolos hakvuim barakia, hainu b'chinas noiga da'asiyah. Ki es spheres da'asiyah b'chinas oires v'kelam v'cholos. Now he's talking the spheres of Asiyah goes into Noiga of Asiyah. Akolu b'tchinas bitul hayesh la'ein b'tachlis k'yadua debehechal kodesh kadoshim da'asiyah sham yichud zun da'asiyah moe b'beis hamikdash shalamai lachulu
Lamata.
Shalamata chulu, sorry. V'nesham is umalochim da'asiyah and b'tachlis habitul Mosh Neymar Tzva Shamayim Lacham Yishtachavim and the basic thing is that the stars and planets are connected to Malachim.
Right.
Vegam Toyar Ukli Ha'ifnim
Homer.
Oh, sorry. Here it says Toyar. Vegam Chomer Ukli Ha'ifnim B'tchinas Habitul B'tachlis they can only do what the Eibusher makes them do. The Kach the Merkava, the Susim Shchoyrim V'adum the Zachariah, Shebizman HaGalus. And the Merkava, even the Merkava of the black and red horses. In the time of the Galus. Shamalch is Malubash B'ayin Soram the Noiga Da'asiyah. Meaning all the way down to like what we just learned on Purim.
Hold on a second, I need to flip the tape.
That the whole thing is in the hands of the Eibusher. That's what the Eibusher wanted, and they thought that they're doing what they want, but really they were doing, even Haman was doing what the Eibusher wanted. She'amalchus malubash b'ayin sorim b'noiged asiyah, and that's why the Goyim have the Malchus, because the Malchus is malubash in the ayin sorim of Noiga, instead of coming to us. Like the thing, the story in HaShem Reichev al Avtal. That the Eibusher is riding on it. Even Arafat and even Bin Laden and Bush, which is the different Malchus, Malchus Yishmael and Malchus Edom. Stuff like that, is Malubash in them, Malchus of Asiyah. All the way till Malubash really is, that's what the Eibusher wanted to happen right now. The Eibusher is holding them like a, and if you get hit by the thing, Who hit you?
The axe.
The axe, right. Who hit you? Like in Madrid. Who hit Madrid? It was the Eibishter.
Right.
Hulu. V'agam, שיש בהם חילוק מדרגה, שהשתלשלות רבה, עד אויסן שמקבלים עד דריבוי מסוך מבחינת אחוריים דאחוריים דאלוקים. ממח צירופים האחרונים, שנקרא עד מתניחם. The tzirufim, you know, the tzirufim of the Yud Mem. You know how it works? Hello?
Yeah.
You know how it works, the tzirufim of the Yud Mem.
How does it work?
There's 120 tzirufim. There's 72 tzirufim of Eleh, and 48 tzirufim which start with a Yud Mem.
No, it's the Yud Mem of Elohim you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right.
The Mem Chet tzirufim are the tzirufim of the Yud Mem that start with Yud and Mem.
Right.
So the basic thing is that these are the tzirufim. There's Yud, there's 24 tzirufim to each letter. There's 24 tzirufim which start with Yud, and there's 24 tzirufim which start with Mem. And there's 72 tzirufim which start with Aleph, Lamed, Hey. The 72 tzirufim are the tzirufim of holiness, and the last 48 tzirufim is what's called Admas Necham, that this is the lowest of the tzirufim.
Right.
It's called Achorayim Da'achorayim. The Elokim, Mimem Chet tzirufim Achroinim, Shenikra Admas Necham, Cham is Mem Chet. The Tachlis HaHesher VaTzimtzum, the Kama Mine Masochim VaAbdolos, עד שנקרא לבוש שק ואויר. וכמו על בשמיים כדרוס ושק אסם כסוסון. חולו, כידוע. וכמו שאמר המבדיל חולו, that he makes a separation between the light and the darkness, between Yisrael and the Amim, etc.
Right.
Mikol Mokum, that he makes a Havdalah between the Jews and the nations. Mikol Mokum, nonetheless, Ne'emar Moloch Elokim al Goyim. Mi lo yira'acha Melech HaGoyim. That really the Eibishter is the king over even on the Goyim.
Right.
And part of the coming of Mashiach is that the Goyim should accept this Malchus on themselves along with the Mitzvahs Ne'noyah.
Right.
The Malchus, and they will accept not only that, but they will actually accept the Mashiach as their Kesar. Shemalchuso bakol mashallah. And that's the thing, when the Mashiach is the Kesar, then the Islapsus of the Malchus is not in the Ein Sorim. It'll be Dafa in the Jews. That means that the Malchus of the Ara, it says Malchus of the Ara and Malchus of the Shmaya. So the Malchus of the Ara, the king of the world, will be properly, the Malchus will be mitzlabish properly in the Jews and not in the Goyim. Malchusa bakol mashallah, v'rayam ebilon, v'ayam epinas rad and noiga, epinas das the klipa, from the Gimel klipas. Except that he says here, he was not from the Gimel klipas, he was from the Ra of Noiga, which is the shoyris of the klipa, of the Gimel klipas.
Right.
Moshe Ne'emar v'yodea das el yencholu, amar lo uchal lavor tiavaya. Last son, he said, I really can't do nothing against the Eibishter. And it's not that he didn't want to. He wanted to.
Right.
The guy me'atoinei, chinas nukva de zod the klipa, shiyeta kasha, is even worse than him. Moshe Bayer, sebel'umat sebel'umat pinas hanukva, yoyse kasha mekulam. The nukva is the worst thing there is.
Right.
She bateta atay. She moved away from the angels. Gam bilam amar im rabbe necha shuvali. If you don't want me to do it, I'll go back. V'agam sheyesh mehem shehem b'tchinat yesh nifrat gomor, like we see, well, wait a minute, there's goyim that are totally a nifat gomer, lomar, pina, koichi, ve'eitzim yodi. There is no Eibishter at all, and we are doing it ourselves. So, yes, nifat gomer, loinar, koichi, ve'eitzim yodi. Kmo sarshal mitzrayim, sh'amal liya erichulu, u'kumaymar hazal, yoidim is reboinim, and kavnim limud boy. There's people like that. הנה זהו מבחינת גימל קליפס התמרס לגמרי. וגם הם נכנועים לפרקים כאשר יפקוד השם עליהם כנבואה בנבואת הנביאים. על כמה שרי העקום. So the Gimel Klippos Atmeas are actually totally separate and want to go against the Eibusher, and even they can't really go against the Eibusher. Like we see, the worst of all the Klippos, Haman, when he was actually going against it and trying to destroy the Jews, he actually originated the holiday of Purim for us, which is the highest of all the holidays. Yom Kippurim, you know?
Right.
So even them, even though they're not Nichna, and they're going against his will, but even that is still within his will. Al kama tera achampul av pinat noiga gam bepinat noiga da siya shuru baral miuta tei vema bepinat bittul tonis moya galgolim v'amazolis shehen ayin sorim dachtiv b'hem gamkin utzvar samayim l'chamish tachavim ve'emrim shira b'kol yoyim chulu, and they have to sing every day to the Eibusher. V'kiyadua be'inyan atam l'sivu v'atmidi v'chomer galgolim so hu rak mitzad ashira she'emrim Bechina Atzura v'nefesh Hagalgal b'Sahava Aruchni Chulu Moshe Vod Mokamacha V'day L'Mevin, like he's saying right here, that the reason that the wall is going around is not like this thing is because of inertia. There's no such thing as inertia, actually.
Right.
Same like by a cartoon, there's no inertia. If you don't paint the next frame of the cartoon, the guy won't move forward.
Right.
The ball, like when he hits the basketball, or when he hits, like, you know, you see the guy in the cartoon when he hits the baseball.
Right.
And you say, well, look, the ball is flying. Why is it flying? He said, what do you mean, why is it flying? He hit it. It's inertia. No, what are you talking about? There's no inertia in the cartoon.
Right.
If the guy would not paint the next ball, it wouldn't move.
Right.
It would stop right there. There would be no inertia. So he says the reason that the Chaymer Galgola move is because of the Shira that the Tzura and Nefesh of the Galgal, the inner angel of the star, is saying. And there's an actual Shira like that. There's, you know, like the magnetic stuff that holds everything together is, if you look at it, it's like a song. It's like a music.
Mm-hmm.
The music of the spheres.
Right.
It's a certain vibration. It's not like a music. It's like, you know, a beautiful music. That if we could hear it, if you could hear even the music of the, if you could hear it said like some of the old, you know, in the days of Avraham Avinu, they used to know how to do all these special things, to hear things upstairs.
Right.
As a matter of fact, that's what it says. That's why the Machnas Sanchera freaked out. They let them hear. It wasn't even the music of the angels. It was the music of the spheres that they heard. That's all they heard. They heard the music of the planets and stars turning around.
Right.
And that totally freaked them out. So basically, up to here, he explained all the way down to here that it's all one thing, and nothing happens without the Eibusher does it. And then tomorrow, or whenever we get, with Hashem's help, to the next chapter, is the Hishtalshelut of the Zela Umatzeh, which is that's the main whole thing that he wanted.
Right.
That it should dafka be a prerequisite, that we should have a L'umazeh. The main thing that he wanted is dafka the Klippa to go against, and that the Jews should overcome the Klippa.
Right.
And therefore do the Ratzon of the Eibusher with a prerequisite. Okay, turn off the tape. Give me a second. I'll be...